The underestimation. The crystalline spires of the Zephyrian High Command gleamed under the light of 3 suns as Commander Vexera reviewed the latest intelligence reports. Her 6 eyes scanned the holographic display with practiced efficiency, while her translucent wings hummed softly in contemplation. Earth, such a small, insignificant world at the edge of the galaxy's spiral arm. Yet it would soon become the crown jewel of the Zephyrian Dominion. The primitive species shows no signs of advanced defense capabilities, reported Sub-Commander Krell, his chidnous form reflecting the ambient light. Their orbital platforms are laughably outdated. Their fleet consists of mere cargo haulers and research vessels. They've barely mastered fusion technology. Vexera's mandibles clicked in satisfaction. The Zephyrians had conquered 17 star systems in the past millennium. Each civilization had fallen within standard cycles, their resources absorbed into the ever-expanding Dominion. Earth would be no different. "Prepare the subjugation fleet," she commanded. "We depart at the next solar alignment. This humanity will learn their place in the galactic order." 3 light-years away, in a nondescript office building in Geneva, Ambassador Elena Reyes sat across from her military advisor, General Chen Wei. The room appeared ordinary to any observer, but hidden sensors swept continuously for surveillance devices. They spoke in hushed tones despite the security measures. "The Zephyrians have taken the bait," Chen reported, his weathered face betraying no emotion. "Their scout ships have completed their assessment. They see exactly what we wanted them to see." Elena nodded, her dark eyes reflecting years of careful planning. 15 years of deliberate technological restraint. 15 years of appearing weak while we prepared in the shadows. Are the Prometheus sites ready? All 12 facilities report full operational status. The Nevada, Siberia, and Australian complexes finished their final Dreadnought last week. We now have a fleet that would make our ancestors proud. The ambassador stood and walked to the window, gazing at the Swiss Alps. Humanity has always been underestimated. The Zephyrians see our squabbles, our divided nations, our seemingly primitive technology. They don't understand that conflict forged us into master strategists. They don't know about the unity that threatens to bring. 2 weeks later, the Zephyrian delegation arrived on Earth amid great ceremony. Commander Vexera descended from her shuttle with deliberate grandeur, her escort of warriors creating an impressive display of strength. Human dignitaries waited with apparent nervousness, playing their roles perfectly. The meeting took place in the United Nations building, now renamed the United Earth Assembly. Vexera towered over the human delegates, her crystalline exoskeleton reflecting rainbow patterns across the walls. Ambassador Reyes stood before her, appearing small and vulnerable. "People of Earth," Vexera began, her translator converting her clicks and hums into multiple human languages. "The Zephyrian Dominion offers you the honor of joining our great civilization. Your resources will contribute to our glory. Your species will serve the greater good. Resistance is inadvisable." Elena stepped forward, her voice steady despite the apparent threat. "Commander Vexera, Earth welcomes peaceful contact with the galactic community. However, we must discuss terms that respect human sovereignty and..." "Terms?" Vexera's wings buzzed with amusement. "You misunderstand. Primitive. This is not a negotiation. You have 7 of your planet's rotations to prepare for integration. Our fleet orbits your world as we speak." As if on cue, massive shadows passed over the building. Zephyrian warships descended through Earth's atmosphere, their presence undeniable and intimidating. The human delegates gasped and murmured, fear apparently spreading through the assembly. Elena's hands trembled as she spoke again. We need time to consider this offer. Our people must be prepared." 7 rotations, Vexera repeated. "No more." That night, in a bunker 500 meters beneath the Rocky Mountains, the Real Earth Defense Council convened. Screens displayed the positions of Zephyrian ships, their formations analyzed by advanced AI systems the aliens couldn't imagine humans possessed. Admiral Marcus Stone, a veteran of the Secret Fleet program, addressed the assembly. His silver hair and scarred face spoke of decades of preparation for this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, the Zephyrians have positioned themselves exactly as our simulations predicted. Arrogant species always do. Professor Sarah Chen, daughter of General Chen and lead scientist of Project Prometheus, activated a holographic display. The enemy fleet consists of 47 vessels. Their technology is approximately 200 years ahead of what we've shown them. However, our hidden developments put us at parity or beyond in several crucial areas. A hologram shifted to show Earth's true defenses. 12 massive structures hidden beneath mountains, oceans, and ice caps. Each housed a Dreadnought-class vessel that dwarfed anything humanity had publicly built. The Retribution-class Dreadnoughts, Sarah continued, incorporate reverse-engineered alien technology from the Roswell incident, combined with human innovations in quantum mechanics and artificial intelligence. Each ship carries enough firepower to devastate a small moon. Admiral Stone stood, his presence commanding attention. For 70 years, since first contact with crashed alien scouts, we've known this day would come. Every war, every conflict in human history prepared us. We learned to hide our strength, to appear weak when we were strong, to strike when least expected. Elena Reyes, still wearing her ambassador's suit, spoke from her position at the table. The Zephyrians believe they face a divided, primitive species barely capable of leaving their home system. They're about to learn why humanity survived ice ages, plagues, and world wars. They're about to discover what happens when you threaten our home. As the secret locations across Earth, massive hangar doors began their carefully rehearsed opening sequences. In Nevada's Black Desert, what appeared to be a weapons testing facility split apart, revealing the mile-long hull of the EDS Perseverance. In Siberia, Lake Baikal's waters churned as the EDS Defiance rose from its underwater dock. Australia's Great Victoria Desert trembled as the EDS Liberation broke free from its underground prison. Commander Vexera received the first reports while dining on synthesized proteins aboard her flagship. The data made no sense. Massive energy signatures appearing across Earth's surface, structures emerging where none should exist, ships, impossible ships rising from the planet's surface. Explain this, she demanded of her sensor operator. Sub-Commander Krell's 6 eyes widened in shock. Commander, we're detecting 12 vessels of unknown configuration. Their power signatures they exceed our Dreadnought classifications. This is impossible. The humans showed no capability to build such craft. Vexera's wings buzzed furiously as she rushed to the command center. The main display showed the impossible reality. 12 human vessels, each bristling with weapons that shouldn't exist, rising from Earth like ancient titans awakening from slumber. The largest, designated EDS Prometheus, emerged from beneath the Pacific Ocean, water cascading from its jet-black hull like waterfalls. All ships, battle formations. Vexera commanded, her voice carrying the first hints of uncertainty. These primitives dare tow. Her words were cut short as every human ship simultaneously activated their primary shields. The energy readings made the Zephyrian officers step back in shock. These weren't the primitive magnetic fields they detected around Earth's old stations. These were full-dimensional barriers that rivaled their own best defenses. On Earth, Admiral Stone stood on the bridge of the Prometheus, surrounded by the finest officers humanity had produced. The ship's AI, designated ATENA, spoke with calm efficiency. All systems operational. Admiral, the fleet awaits your command. Stone looked at the tactical display, showing the Zephyrian fleet scrambling to respond. A slight smile crossed his weathered face. Open a channel to Commander Vexera. The main screen flickered to life, showing the shocked face of the Zephyrian commander. Stone spoke with quiet authority. Commander Vexera, I am Admiral Marcus Stone of the Earth Defense Fleet. You came to our world offering subjugation. You threatened our people. You made a critical error in judgment. This is impossible. Vexera's translator struggled with her emotional state. You are primitives. Your technology is centuries behind ours. No, Commander. We simply chose to let you believe that. Humanity learned long ago that the greatest advantage in any conflict is being underestimated. You see, we've been preparing for visitors like you for quite some time. The bridge crew of the Prometheus watched as their admiral delivered words that would echo through galactic history. You thought Earth was helpless. You thought humanity was weak. You were wrong. And now, Commander, you have a choice to make. Withdraw your fleet immediately, or learn firsthand why humans became the dominant species on a world full of predators. The tactical display showed Zephyrian weapons powering up. Vexera's compound eyes narrowed. You dare threaten the Dominion. We have conquered star systems. We have broken civilizations far greater than yours. Admiral Stone's expression didn't change. Then you should have no trouble with 12 primitive ships. Athena, all vessels to battle ready. Let's show our guests what humans are capable of when our home is threatened. As the two fleets faced each other in Earth's orbit, the galaxy held its breath. The Zephyrians had come expecting easy conquest. They had found instead a species that had spent generations preparing for this moment. A species that had turned their own conflicts into training for the ultimate test. A species that had hidden its true strength until the perfect moment to reveal it. The first phase of humanity's introduction to the galactic stage was about to begin, and it would start with a lesson the Zephyrian Dominion would never forget. The awakening of giants. The silence in space lasted exactly 17 seconds. Then Commander Vexera, driven by centuries of Zephyrian military doctrine and the inability to comprehend being outmaneuvered by primitives, gave the order that would change galactic history. All ships, engage. Show these upstarts the might of the Dominion. 47 Zephyrian vessels opened fire simultaneously, their energy weapons painting the void with brilliant streams of destructive power. The barrage should have reduced any ship to molten slag within seconds. Instead, it splashed harmlessly against the human shields, creating a spectacular light show that was visible from Earth's surface. On the bridge of the Prometheus, Admiral Stone watched the energy readings with grim satisfaction. Athena. Analysis. Zephyrian weapons operating at expected parameters. The AI responded calmly. Our shields are holding at 96% capacity. No meaningful damage to any vessel. Stone nodded. Signal the fleet. Pattern Omega-7. Let's show them what real firepower looks like. The 12 human dreadnoughts moved with surprising grace for their massive size, where Zephyrian ships maneuvered like insects. Darting and weaving, the human vessels moved with purpose, each taking predetermined positions that would maximize their combat effectiveness. The EDS Defiance was the first to return fire. Captain Yuki Tanaka, a third-generation Japanese-American whose grandfather had survived Hiroshima, gave the order with quiet intensity. Main guns target their command ship's engine section, 10% power. The particle beam that erupted from Defiance's primary weapon was unlike anything the Zephyrians had encountered. It punched through their shields like tissue paper, surgically striking the flagship's propulsion systems. Vexera's vessel lurched as primary thrust failed. Impossible. Krell shouted over the alarms. Their weapons are. Commander, we have no defense against this energy type. Across the battle space, similar scenes played out. The EDS Liberation, under the command of Captain Amara Okafor, demonstrated humanity's mastery of missile technology. Swarms of quantum torpedoes phased in and out of normal space, bypassing Zephyrian point defenses entirely. The EDS Retribution lived up to its name, its railguns firing projectiles at relativistic speeds that turned smaller Zephyrian vessels into expanding clouds of debris. But it was the Prometheus that truly demonstrated humanity's frightening potential. Admiral Stone had authorized the use of their most advanced weapon, the Graviton Pulse Cannon. When it fired, space itself seemed to ripple. 3 Zephyrian cruisers were caught in the gravitational shear, their hulls crumpling like paper as tidal forces tore them apart at the molecular level. On Earth's surface, billions watched the battle through news feeds and personal devices. In New Delhi, crowds gathered in the streets, cheering each human victory. In Sao Paulo, families huddled together, some praying, others celebrating. In Moscow, military analysts watched with professional interest as tactics they'd only seen in simulations played out in reality. Back in the United Earth Assembly building, Ambassador Elena Reyes stood before a hastily assembled group of world leaders. Behind her, massive screens showed the ongoing battle. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're witnessing is the culmination of 70 years of preparation. Every nation contributed to this moment. Every sacrifice, every secret project, every hidden advancement has led us here. But it was on Earth itself that the most significant changes began. The secret facilities that had built the Dreadnoughts started producing different technologies. Medical advances reverse-engineered from alien biology, energy systems that could revolutionize civilization, and communication methods that could unite species across light years. In the hidden command bunker, the Earth Defense Council convened for what many hoped would be the last time in its current form. Admiral Stone appeared via hologram from the Prometheus, while Ambassador Reyes attended in person. Ladies and gentlemen, Elena began. Today marks a turning point not just for humanity, but potentially for the galaxy. We've shown that humans will not be conquered, but more importantly, we've shown that we can be trusted with power. Professor Sarah Chen presented new data on the anomalous signals from intergalactic space. The threat is real and growing. Our analysis suggests we have perhaps 50 years before these entities reach our galaxy. The Zephyrian database, which we've now accessed, confirms similar concerns among their scientists. General Chen Wei, her father, added his perspective. Our military strength is now proven, but our greatest weapon may be our ability to form alliances. The Zephyrians ruled through fear. We can lead through example. The discussion continued for hours, planning humanity's next steps. The Dreadnoughts would become the core of a new fleet, but their mission would expand beyond defense. They would serve as symbols of human capability and ambassadors of a new galactic order. 3 days later, Commander Vexera stood in the United Earth Assembly, addressing both human leaders and her own surviving officers. Her words were translated into dozens of languages, broadcast across Earth, and transmitted to the Zephyrian homeworld. For 1,000 years, the Dominion has expanded through conquest. We believe this was strength, but the humans have shown us true strength. The ability to prepare in silence, to strike with precision, and most importantly, to offer friendship to fallen foes. She turned to face the human delegation. I will recommend to the Dominion Council that we accept Earth's proposal, not because we are defeated, though we are, but because humanity offers something the galaxy needs, a vision of unity against common threats. Admiral Stone stepped forward. Commander Vexera, on behalf of Earth and all humanity, we accept your statement. Our Dreadnoughts will stand ready, not just to defend Earth, but to protect any who join us in facing the challenges ahead. As the formal ceremonies continued, a new chapter in galactic history began. The ships that had risen from Earth's hidden places would soon patrol shipping lanes, protecting commerce between former enemies. Human engineers would work alongside Zephyrian scientists, combining their knowledge to face the approaching darkness. The galaxy had learned a valuable lesson. Earth was far from helpless. But more importantly, it had learned that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in their weapons or their strategy. It was in their ability to unite others, to turn conflicts into cooperation, and to prepare for threats others couldn't imagine. In the weeks that followed, more species reached out to Earth. Some came seeking protection, others offering alliance. The Terran Defense Force, as the fleet was now designated, grew with each new partnership. The Dreadnoughts that had shocked the Zephyrians became symbols of a new era. And in the depths of space, in secret facilities across a dozen worlds, humans and their new allies began preparing for the real threat. The darkness between galaxies grew closer each day, but now the galaxy had something it had never possessed before: unity forged in the crucible of conflict, led by a species that had mastered the art of survival against all odds. The Zephyrians had believed Earth was helpless. They had learned the truth in the most dramatic way possible. But the greatest revelation was yet to come. Humanity's true power lay not in their ability to destroy, but in their determination to protect and unite. The Dreadnoughts had descended not to conquer, but to defend; not to subjugate, but to liberate. As Admiral Stone often said in the years that followed, "We showed them our strength so we could offer them our friendship." That's the human way. The galaxy would never be the same.